Hello, my name is James Owen. I'm the Head of Project Development for Kronos Solar, and I'm going to take you today through our project for Alfreton Solar Park. I'm going to do a virtual exhibition really. Normally we do these in real life, but obviously in times of COVID it's a little bit harder. So I'll just take you through the boards here. They're on the website as well, so you'll be able to see it without me talking at you. But we'll just go through them as we go around the room now. So the first board that we show people as we come into the solar parks is the board about climate change. There's a reason we're doing renewable electricity, and it's all to do with climate change. So there are lots and lots of things going on with climate change now. There's the whole target of 1.5 degrees maximum rise by the end of this century, and we're currently on course for anything between 2.5 and 4. So there's a significant and urgent need for more renewable electricity, which is why we're here today. So we talk about climate change a little bit. Obviously being a solar developer, I'm very enthusiastic about solar parks, and we think for a whole host of reasons solar is a really good technology to deploy in England. We need, between now and 2050, we need somewhere in the region of at least 80 gigawatts of new solar. And just in the last 10 years alone, we've only deployed about 11 gigawatts. So there's a lot more solar that needs to be deployed. And doing large-scale solar parks is part of that solution. One of the things that actually often gets asked at these kind of events is, are they going to shine? Are the solar panels going to blind me? So if anyone remembers the old film from years ago with Christopher Lambert, There Can Be Only One, and the big solar park that they had in that's a concentrated solar power park. And a lot of people mistake solar PV for those kind of big mirrors, shining heat. We don't do any of that. We absorb as much light as we can. And we, on this slide here, being a German company, we do a lot of stuff elsewhere in Europe. And there are solar parks here, one's at an airfield. We've got these at the sides of the Autobahn. I've been to these parks and stood here on the motorway, and there is zero glare from them whatsoever. We do a survey generally on solar parks on how much glare or how little glare there is, and generally you get a little bit of light glinting glare a few times a year, and every time we do the surveys the answer comes back the same, and it's less than you get off grass. So the thing is, we're absorbing light. We don't want to give any free electricity back. Another thing that often happens is, what is the community reason for doing solar? There are lots of different things that we can do with solar parks in the community, ranging from, just having the renewable electricity in your district. Every local authority, every person in the United Kingdom has a requirement to help deliver zero carbon by 2050, and solar parks help that. There are lots of other things we've done in the past, and we'll probably do on this project. We've installed beehives with the local beekeepers association. We've done cycle routes, footpaths. What else have we done? Solar on roofs for village halls. Lots of different side projects that we get involved in, and we'd like the community to engage with us and give us ideas, because it's nice. I'd like more interaction between communities and solar parks than less. Again, on the continent, there's a lot closer interaction between solar parks than there are over here. So if you've got any ideas out there of things that you'd like to do, please email me or phone me. Just let me know what you'd like, what ideas you've got for community engagement. So the park itself, you can't really see greatly on the video, but if you look on the website, we have all these boards on there, so you'll be able to see them in great detail. But you can see that the principal areas that we're looking at, we have Alfreton down here, Shirley Golf Course over here. This is the northern part of the project, which is in North East Derbyshire and Shirland Parish Council. Then down here we have two areas, this area that's in Alfreton Town Council, and this area that's over towards South Wingfield. This is our idea at the moment. We may not submit all of this, but this is where we're starting from. Then this just gives you sort of a quick overview of how much we're doing. The site itself is going to be 50 megawatts. We think that somewhere between 11,000 and 12,000 homes of electricity will saved each year from the project, saving 15,000 tonnes of carbon. And again, you've got another view of what it looks like on the map there. And there's a reason that it's 15 megawatts in the size of the connection, the size of the park, and it's because of the grid connection. So we're aiming to connect into, there's an existing substation here to the north of Alfreton, to the north of the sewage works, which is a fairly large substation from an electricity perspective. And it's not cheap to connect onto these, so we have to go a reasonable size to make this connection point work. People ask sort of what's the impact going to be on the town and the villages from a construction perspective. As a rough time scale, we think this project is going to take somewhere between 4 to 6 months to build, and we would have, as part of the planning application, we submit a traffic management plan which restricts the hours of access for articulated lorry movements, and also restricts the amount of time, the time that the park can be worked on. We think we'll probably have somewhere around 80 people working on the park at its peak, and that will trail off either side in that 6-month period. And then once it's built, there's probably going to be three visits a month, maybe something like that, maybe less. Unless it's unplanned work, so unless we have to do something major or there's a change that we need to do. But for most ongoing maintenance, it's sort of 3 visits a month. This slide is showing you where we think we're going to come in for access. Obviously, we asked the council and we suggest what we think would work. It's down, the local planning authority would tell us otherwise. But we're thinking that if we come off the motorway, along the main A road, and then up through the village, we've got the choices of either coming round and up the roads off back here and then creating internal access here, or coming in via Church Street here where the milk lorries come in, and then for the northern one coming up, probably not using here, actually going higher into the village and then down Pit Lane and into here, and then for the substation just coming up the side of the main road there. So we think that may be the access routes, but again, it's down to the local authority to say yay or nay. If anyone's really interested in CAD drawings and what a substation looks like, feel free to look at this at your leisure on the website. I'm not going to talk about it too much, other than the fact that in the planning submission, we put lots of drawings in of what is going to be on site. The only useful one on here really from our conversation is that the tables for the panels. We probably start somewhere around less than a metre from the floor at the front, and sort of 3 metres-ish at the back, on a sort of 20-ish degree angle, 20 to 25 degree angle. Enough room to allow sheep in, which I'll come on to later. One of the things that we do as part of the planning application is we try and consider as much visual impact as we can. So we look at scheduled monuments, listed buildings, sites of outstanding natural beauty, triple SIs, lots and lots and lots of different areas that we think there may be a viewpoint from there. How does that area interact with the solar park? So we have on here taken lots and lots and lots and lots of different viewpoints all around the site, and we have sort of lifted these on here. So what we've tried to do here, and it's going to be much easier to see this on the website, is show some of the views that we've identified and just show what part of the fields we're looking at and where we think there would be some kind of visual change in all these different viewpoints, of which you can see we've taken a lot. And on the board it will show you which direction the pictures are taken from. Then we get to the point where, okay, so we know where the viewpoint's in, where can we actually see the panels? So then we come to these images here. So you can see on this one, and this is looking from the footpath over the other side of Sherland, looking across. So this is looking south or southeast. And these green fields here are the fields that we want to put solar in, not these brown ones here, but these green ones here. So that's what it looks like now from the footpath. In a year's time after it's been built, we think this green here is now solar panels. So this is the section that's in South Wingfield. The section that's in Alfreton is hardly visible because there's so much, there's tree plantations and copses all dotted through the park, which give natural screening. And even after 5 years, because of the topography, even if this stuff grows much higher, we'll still have the same views into here. And these views here of these fields, we can't hide those. It's, you know, there is no shrubbery down here. All these fields off the road are unhedged, so these fields of solar will always be visible from this footpath over here, and also slightly visible from the road, but not much. We also have an image from slightly lower down, looking up and across, and again it shows how the topography of the land helps hide the solar park without us doing anything, look rather than judgment. So here we have the green fields, and then as you're looking up and across the fields here, you can see solar in here, and even after a few years of this hedge building up, you'll still see some, but it will sort of hide into the landscape a little bit better. And then the last one here, again this is from another footpath, and this is showing images up. So here we are, green fields here, but it's quite, the topography sort of, as it's a gentle slope, it's only a thin sliver of land, so even with the solar in, you're not getting, well, you're having no impact on the horizon, but it just sort of sits behind hedges. And we expect to sort of have this hedge here extended over time, so it would disappear even more and just sort of look more hedgy than the solar panel. But we've got a lot more of these on the website, and a lot more will go into the planning application. So if there's any areas that you think that maybe we've missed, please just send us an email and we'll check to see if we've got those viewpoints in. Because from our perspective, the more views and the more realistic understanding of what it will look like before and after, the better, because it helps communication. So this is basically our exhibition for today. What I'd like you to do is please comment. Let us know if you like it, if you don't like it, if you think there's things that you would like us to look at. If you've got any questions that aren't covered on these boards. We're also contemplating doing like a Zoom call version of this for people that can't come to consultations during this sort of weird time that we're all in. Our expectation is to submit planning sort of within a month's time, within the month, but consultation can remain open throughout that entire process. Normally with planning you have a small period for consultation, but in these times that stays open longer. So we're always willing to hear your thoughts and your ideas and take them into consideration where we can. So please look on the website, click the comments box, and when the application goes live we'll reference it on the website as well, and then put your comments into the local authority as well. So my name's James Owing, thank you very much for watching this, and hopefully read your comments soon.